Thank you, Chris and Mike and Jan. Really appreciate you guys organizing this auction again. I have to say, like, auctioneering is in my blood. Like, I love it. So it's so fun just to kind of like jump in and really grateful to all of the emoji donors. Like, these are some great emoji domains. And really generous of you guys to donate to the dWeb Foundation. For everybody to understand what the dWeb Foundation is, it really came about as this idea from myself and Chjango, who is, for those of you who don't know Chjango, she is one of the really key community members behind Cosmos and Tendermint from the early days. And also Tieshun, one of the founders of Namebase. I had been talking to Chjango. She'd been, I found out that she was really into Handshake, and I'm really into Handshake. We got to talking. We're investors in Namebase, so I looped Tieshun into it. And the challenge with Handshake is that we love it so much, and it has so much potential. But the way that it was designed is that there's no foundation, there's no treasury, there's no team. There are developers like Zipkin and others who support it, but there's no kind of centralized support. And I know, like, centralization is kind of like a dirty word in crypto, but in some ways, I think that for me personally, and I'm happy to kind of have a debate about this, I think that there are periods of time or periods of support where centralized efforts can really help get things off the ground. And I think that where we are with Handshake right now is in one of these periods. There's incredible community support. There's incredible enthusiasm and energy. There's starting to be, some signs of, kind of quote unquote success. But when you're on the front lines, from a macro perspective, I'll just give you a sense of what we're facing. Like, I've been trying to get us listed on multiple, tier 1 and 2 exchanges for over a year. But part of the big challenge is that when you try to get listed on an exchange, they need to have an actual counterparty. They need to have a company to face. They can't really just do it themselves because they have contracts that need to be signed. And so part of the reason why we came up with the dWeb Foundation was to literally be an entity. Let's get on Coinbase, exactly. But they need an entity to face. And that's actually why we put together the dWeb Foundation. Partially, it's just to have a legal entity for either exchanges or other potential partners like Brave, like potentially Cloudflare. These are all people we are actively talking to, like Opera browser. They need a counterparty and they need somebody to talk to. So decentralization is great to empower the community, but sometimes they need a centralized organization. What's great about Handshake is that, there's no permission. Like, we can't ask for permission and nobody can give us permission. We just do it. And so we have basically independently created a foundation. We don't say that we're speaking for the entire Handshake community. We just speak for ourselves and anybody that cares to support us. But our mission is to support core development on Handshake. And we do that by basically giving a grant that supports Matthew Zipkin, the kind of primary core developer that supports his salary. It's not 100% of his salary, but we're doing what we can. Second, we do it through education. And what we're trying to do is basically give grants, small grants, where materials will be developed to make it easier in different languages for Handshake to be integrated and adopted. And then also we're talking about things like incubators that will help to encourage early stage Handshake companies to build on top of Handshake. Because the other thing that we found is that I'm actually, I might be mistaken, but I think I'm the only active VC in the Handshake ecosystem. And that's really dangerous and very fragile. That means that there's not enough money from kind of institutional investors who can help support Handshake companies at the early stage. And if we don't have that kind of ecosystem, it's going to be, it's not going to be good because we won't have diversity. We won't have startups in the ecosystem to build, and we really need that. So having an incubator that can provide a little bit of support financially and a lot of support strategically is kind of what we're thinking about launching with the dWeb Foundation. The way that the dWeb Foundation works is we go out and we raise money from our friends and from people in the community. So like, Kinetic, my company, and Namebase and Chjango and Handshake Jesus, Jesse, and a number of others. Steve Waterhouse, the founder of Orchid, Vinny Lingham, the founder of Civic, all people who are super passionate Handshake are donating and basically will be empowering our activities. dWeb Foundation is a registered not-for-profit in Singapore. It's called a limited by guarantee. So it is not charitable yet. We will look towards getting that. But what we are doing is we're working with Handshake G's to make it easy for people who are in the US to basically donate through Jesse's 501c, who will then be able to get a tax break, a tax write-off, and have their donation be tax deductible. So we're working on that. It's not totally done yet, but that's the idea. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're doing. All of this, like, nobody gets paid at the foundation. We're all volunteers. Everything is just because, we love Handshake. We want to support Handshake. Obviously we're all Handshake holders, so we'll benefit hopefully if the price goes up. But yeah, that, and the other things that we're pushing are integrations on browsers. So I've been talking with Brave for a very, very long time. I've also been talking to Opera for a long time, and the Namebase team has been talking to Brave on a technical standpoint, and we're really hoping that we can get something over the line eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later. But you also have to remember that for exchanges to integrate Handshake, they also need to perform a technical audit and a technical integration. And normally that would be the job of the foundation to help. So that's another area that we're helping. So, we're operating on a lot of different levels. I saw somewhere that someone was saying that I'm not really active in the community as far as like the Telegram and Discord, and that's true. I mean, I have a day job, so I'm not as kind of chatty as I'd like to be. But I hope you guys know that there are those of us who are in the community, like Chjango and others, and you may not be actively on the boards. We're in the background. We're pushing. We're trying to make big moves, and we really appreciate all of your help. We want to be somewhat of a representative voice for the community, but really we want to be some muscles behind the community more than anything else. So let us know how we can help you. If you guys want to donate your time, your expertise, or your funds, like, all are welcome. We're just getting this started. Again, we all have day jobs. We're all in it to win it. So, let me know. You can feel free to reach out to me. I'm at Collectionist on Twitter. You can find me there. I'm also in the Handshake, both the Handshake chats, just as at Jehan Chu. So feel free to kind of ping me there. Always open to feedback. Can't guarantee that I'll always get back to you promptly. I think I have several hundred emails unanswered in my inbox. But yeah, just great to be collaborating with like Chris and Mike as always. And let us know how we can. Thanks again for all the donations, and thanks again for all the support. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Jehan. Again, that was awesome. Again, just really happy to see in the Handshake community these kind of initiatives. So dWeb Foundation, I took some notes. I just watched it again. That was done at the flamingohandshake.com live emoji auctions in mid-April 2021. A few things that he said that I want to reiterate. One was going towards the development community. Matt Zipkin's amazing, and some of the proceeds helps have him contribute his time. The other is education, maybe localizing some of the Handshake documentation into multiple languages, which is great. The third is an incubator or early stage accelerator to help attract more investors and VCs. I'm really excited about that one, and talks about that one. Number 4 is browser integration, exchange listings. So a lot of these bigger companies need some group or formal body to talk to. So dWeb Foundation wants to be that. And the 5 is, maybe like some people maybe have said they haven't seen him in the chats or in Discord or in Telegram, etc. But he and his foundation want to be the muscle that's pushing these bigger deals through, like getting listed on a big exchange, getting integrated with Brave or Opera browser. Starting these kind of incubator, accelerator programs, supporting developers in the community, things like that, multiple languages. So I hope you're excited as I am about this. I've been watching it grow, and really supportive of what's happening there. And stay tuned for more. Just thought it'd just be a good little clip from the Flamingo Handshake auction where he spoke that you could all see. So the link will be below with some of these notes as well to check out dWeb Foundation. Thank you.